a little bit nervous about giving the speech. To be honest, I was kind of hoping that Allie was going to give her speech first and not bomb it, but just set the bar like super, super low.
Well done, you're doing fine, right?
Thanks, man. So one thing I've always admired about Benito and Lauren is that they always surround themselves with great people, and that's never been more evident than it is tonight. So thanks everybody for coming out here, even you, Allie. For those of you who don't know me, oh, you're here. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Brad. I'm Benito's best man. I've known him for 14 years now. And we met freshman year of high school. And lots changed since then. Benito's now the vice president of wine, which doesn't sound like a real title to me. We got a couple people up front here from Southern to pretend like that's like a real thing that he does. Just to give you a snapshot of what Benito and I were like when we were 14 when I met him. I remember the first time I was at his house. I asked him, what are your plans for after high school? He said, I'm gonna go to a little university on the East Coast. Probably never heard of it. It's like, well, I'm pretty curious. Like, what are you talking about, man? Like, what are you gonna do? He said, I'm just gonna go to a little school. No big deal. I was like, all right, seriously though, what are you talking about? He's like, I want to go to Brown University. And I was like, all right, well, what do you want to do, for a living? He's like, he looked me dead in the eye and he said, I want to be a rapper / entrepreneur. And we were there with a couple other friends that are here tonight. And I just started laughing because that was a natural thing for me to do. But I probably shouldn't have been because when I was 14, I wanted to be a professional rollerblader. So a few things have changed since high school, but there's a few things that have stayed the same. Benito's always been an amazing person, and people have always just kind of gravitated towards him. Everyone's always liked him. He's a pretty smart guy. He's fairly handsome. He's always told me that he's average height. Which is cool. I mean, maybe he is like, worldwide, because there's like little people doing islands off from India and stuff. To bring the average down a little bit, So what I'm doing out on this stage right now, it's called Killin' It. Benito's my best friend. I think the world of him. I really do. But the last year, Benito's always told me, I'm marrying up. And I couldn't agree more. But I don't mean that as a slight to Benito. I mean that as the absolute best compliment that I could ever give to Lauren. I remember when Benito came back from London, all he could do was talk about Lauren. I'd ask him how his trip was, and you just give her compliments. And 6 years later now, and he hasn't fucking stopped.
You got all this? Oh my god.
He always talked about, how smart she was, how witty, how talented as a singer and designer. Seriously. No, she can actually really sing. Yeah, I mean, a lot of you may not even know this, but she designed the wedding dress herself and put it together. Benito said his favorite part about her was that she gave him shit. That's what he said. One of the things that I'm most proud of in my life is taking a risk with Benito. No, this is good. You know, after college, neither him or I had a job lined up, and he called me up and he said, "Brad, let's move to San Francisco," which was at the time one of the most expensive cities in the world. It still is, and it was in the middle of a recession. We both moved out there, ended up getting jobs like pretty quickly, and I'll always be proud of that. But to make things more feasible, we got a 2-bedroom with one of our friends, and Benito lived in the living room. So what we did was we went to Japantown. We got these little Japanese-style partitions, you know, you fold them up or whatever. Created a wall to section off part of the living room for him. And then we had a blanket that was pinned to the partition and the wall, and that was Benito's door. Basically, if I ever like breathed heavily, I could blow his whole room. And I'll never forget the first time Lauren came to visit us. It was really one of the first times I hung out with Lauren. She said, "Well, guess I don't have to worry about you cheating on me." And, Benito's a little bit slow. You guys picked up on this quickly. Benito was like, "Well, why is that?" And Lauren said, "Because no one's going to sleep with you on a futon in a fort." So when I lived with Benito, a lot of times I'd wonder, I'd say like, you know, are you sure you want to be dating long distance? Because every relationship that I'd been in that was long distance just was an absolute disaster. But Benito would turn to me and he would say, "If I ever left Lauren, that would be the biggest mistake I would ever make in my life." And here we are, 6 years later, you guys are getting married. Excuse me. So, I used to think that a successful relationship meant that you would get in arguments, you know, whatever, once a week, once every 2 weeks, or something like that. And there would be, you know, you both have to put in a lot of effort to make it work. And over the last 6 years, I've never seen Benito and Lauren argue one time. You know, I'm sure they have, but it's never been in front of me. Well, you guys dated for 3 years while you were on opposite sides of the country, and you made it look absolutely effortless. And it was just the most incredible display of love I've ever seen in my life. Benito, you're my best friend, man. Living with you was the best 1.5 years of my life. And Lauren, I love you so much. You guys are family. So please raise your glass and join me in a toast to Mr. and Mrs. Benito.
Yeah.